very personal, but how did the recent tragedy of losing your wife change your view of your job and your life?
It's a tough one. I will start off with, with every good law enforcement career, you have to have a support system. You have to have that family that stands beside you and goes along your career with you. And, it does change. It changes things. Through a 30-year career here, you make plans, and those things do change. So it's impactful. But it's definitely something that a career, you plan an end date. You plan to, arrive at that retirement day. And, it's something that we discuss as a family, and it's something that, may have come a little bit quicker than our full plans. But nonetheless, I couldn't be more proud of everybody here at the department, the people we have in place to continue the mission. But back to your original question, family support is huge with the public safety profession.
Kind of going off of that, you do have a lot of family support, especially with your father being the chief ahead of you. So what do you think that taught you about the position you're in today?
Yeah, it taught me that you have a period of time. It taught me that you have, X number of years within a career that you have to be able to roll up your sleeves and do the best job you can. I watched my whole father's career being chief, and, I was shocked when it wasn't ending there. But also understood that the department carries on. The department has the ability to, train up people, has the ability to, continue to work with the community and figure out how the community wants us to police and how that's important to them, and work together. And all those things were lessons learned by, essentially watching my father as chief of the flock.
You've gotten to this point. Let's change to a little bit about that. With dealing with the public and learning how policing should go, where do you think the department is now as you step away and it's been taken over by others? Do you think you've achieved what you hope to set out in meeting the public and doing what needs to be done?
Yes, I would say very satisfying career. I've been able to be a part of, provided the opportunity to be a part of, several initiatives since 2020, which includes our National Public Safety Partnership, which allowed us to start the framework of building a violence reduction plan. Had the ability to go through our smart policing initiative, where we started banking on technology as well as crime analysis, and from that, start a crime analysis unit from the ground up. And then the last thing was, how do we start using that strategy and working with the community through our group violence intervention? And all those things have been very powerful, very impactful. It took everybody within the department, and I was very, very honored and very proud to be a part of those processes as this department continued to evolve. But as you know, things do change. Technology we can't keep up with. We have a very smart staff. We have a very younger generation that's just chomping at the bit to start taking on these roles and figuring out what policing looks like in the future. And I'm excited to see that as they start taking the reins, and moving this department forward.
What do you think your legacy is going to be as chief?
I don't know if you really want a specific legacy. I think where I would bank myself is those initiatives that we just talked about. Those are something very proud. They were very impactful in changing the way we as police look at things. How we police matters. How we involve our community within our policing matters. It's not just the policing a community. We're all in this together. All the challenges and all the interesting things that we've been through the last several years, we had to do that together. And I would hope that my legacy, incorporates some of those pieces of how we as a police department and how we as a community rolled up our sleeves, worked together, and tackled some pretty significant issues.
What would you say you're most proud of as your time during chief? I'm sure there's so much to look back on, but what are you most proud of during your tenure?
Yeah, that's a biggie too, and you always get the recency effect, right? So I would talk about the, on a personal level, it's being able to be a chief of police and having that honor. And knowing that my father was also the chief here, and that we were the only two father-son, tandem within Davenport that had that opportunity to serve this community for the number of years that we did. But on a, personal, or on a policing level, just how we have had to and have evolved as a police department. You look at the profession in and of itself, the challenges that we had since 2020 with the COVID, civil unrest. We had an officer suicide here, things that we've never experienced before, that we had to, change the way we do things and understand the importance, one, of our officers. We got to take care of our officers in order for them to take care of the streets, but also the connectivity with our community. So many things to be proud of, and so many things to just be so humble, be so honorable to have the opportunity to serve here in the city of Davenport.